with all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
All right, folks, welcome to Gimme 5. And, of course, that infamous remark by Hillary will haunt her and should haunt her right through the campaign. And I play that because there's another infamous remark that has now been made, and I believe it should become infamous if it's not already. It was only made yesterday. It was only made by Josh Earnest, the White House spokesman, and we'll get to it. And how just as outrageous and repulsive and repugnant as that remark was. And let's listen to this.
But Ramadi today, several times, you seem to be saying, well, you know, you win some, you lose some, and it goes on. And at this stage of the game, isn't that a little silly when Iraqi troops have cut and run, and there are a minimum of U.S. troops advising, and there's no real prospect for improvement?
All right, that's Bill Plant of CBS News. Legitimate question. This is the attitude of the administration, whether it's Jews and Christians being slaughtered by ISIS, you know, or another city falling to ISIS, you know, and so good for Bill Plant. Watch.
Bill, what I think is a little silly is for us to spend a whole lot of time agonizing over the fall of Kobani, and then after Kurdish security forces, with the backing of American coalition fighters, retake that village, drive ISIL forces out, and everybody decides that that's not really a big deal either. So I think I guess the thing is we have to sort of decide what our approach to these issues is going to be. Are we going to light our hair on fire every time that there is a setback in the campaign against ISIL?
That is, without a doubt, the most arrogant, pompous, as I said, repugnant, repulsive, disrespectful remark from this White House. You know, since although Hillary wasn't representing the White House at the time, since we heard Hillary say, "What difference does it make?" What are we supposed to light our hair on fire because another city fell to ISIS? You know how many people shed blood and lost limbs in that city that Obama's now given away to ISIS? What are we supposed to do? Light our hair on fire? What is it, a big deal? You are disgusting, but you represent a disgusting president who you speak for. And I'm sure he'd back you up 100% because, in effect, you are speaking for him. And I haven't heard him disavow what you said yesterday. The lack of interest, the lack of caring, the arrogance, the disrespect for our men in uniform and women in uniform is despicable. But it's who he is more.
Or are we going to take very seriously our responsibility to evaluate those areas where we succeed and evaluate where steps are necessary for us to change our strategy where we've sustained setbacks?
I guess my point is this is coming a little late in the game, don't you think?
In what respect?
Well, I mean, considering the amount of blood and treasure already expended?
Well, Bill, the amount of blood and treasure that's already been expended is a microscopic fraction of the blood and treasure that was committed under the previous administration to this effort.
He's making it a contest. Yeah, you know, in fact, more people died in Afghanistan under Barack Obama, soldiers and whatever, than did under George W. Bush. But I'm not into a you-know-whatting contest here. George W. Bush would never have given an answer like you gave, Josh. You're a disgrace. More.
What we have seen is the effective use of American military air power and the effective use of our training expertise to equip Iraqi security forces and Kurdish security forces to enjoy areas of significant progress. And whether it's retaking Kobani or more recently retaking Tikrit or preventing a genocide at Mount Sinjar or retaking the critical infrastructure around the Mosul Dam, those are areas of progress and where we have enjoyed success because of the strategy that the president laid out.
The president has no strategy. The president's stated strategy is this is going to be a long, hard battle, and it's going to go into the next administration. He called them a JV team. He knew 17 months before he called them a JV team that they were going to be a threat. He didn't care then. He doesn't care now. Shame on all of them. We're coming back. Don't go away.